Yeah, welcome back to Mark's Railway Trails on another wet day, unfortunately. And if you're wondering where I am this afternoon, I'm doing a little post on the Avery in Taylor Park, St Helens, a park that I grew up with. If you look up just over there, behind all the trees, I'll just zoom my camera in and you'll see a bit better. In fact, I'll zoom it right in. If you just look over there, there's Taylor Park and Taylor Park Lake. Just behind there is where I grew up. So this is like my backyard really. We're on a place now what we call the Big Hill in Taylor Park, but what we're coming to find today is the old aviary that used to be there when I was a kid, and they had loads of exotic birds. They used to call it Pet's Corner as well, but I'm going to take you and show you where it is. And unfortunately we're not getting to the aviary because it's all closed off now, it's all locked off, and there's actually rangers in there today. So I was hoping to have a climb over and walk it round down below, but unfortunately the rangers are knocking about and you're not allowed in. So but we can still show you quite a bit. And where we are now, we're just on top of the Big Hill in Taylor Park, and when you get to the Big Hill in Taylor Park you'll see one of these plaques that tells you all about the history. And I've done most of these walks around here, if you remember showing you the old Eccleston estates from 1374, and all around Taylor Park really. There's the main entrance that comes into Taylor Park from Prescott Road. I'll show you where that is this morning. But what we're coming to find today is the aviary, and that's what it used to look like when I was a kid. Gardens were immaculate. They had exotic birds around there. It was absolutely brilliant. And just some old pictures really of people looking down on the Big Hill, looking down onto Taylor Park Lake. Little boating lake I'll show you on the way back after we've found the aviary, where that is and where the tennis courts were. And the lake will show you where the boathouse is as well. It's so much history around here. I'll just flick on to some of the dates so you can read them. I'll not read them out, but I'll just flip my camera on it so you can see it. It gives you all the history of right up to the present day really. A lot of history around Taylor Park, and this is why I wanted to do it really, what we call the Quarry Garden, which is what you're looking at there now, and it gives you all the other dates on there as well. You can have a read. A bit of graffiti, unfortunately it spoils it, but you get that everywhere now. And the earliest records 1374, and I'll give you a little bit of my history that I found out as well. So hopefully you can see that, and then if you pause this on your, if you're watching it on your YouTube channel, on your TV, just pause it and you'll be able to read it. And that explains it all really. So that's where we are, top of Taylor Park Hill. But what we're coming to find today is just behind us here, and this is what they call the aviary. For all the people that grew up in St Helens, like myself, just here where there's two benches used to be a massive hut. When you got days like this when it's raining, you could sit under it, and it was massive, full of seats, and that's sadly gone. And a couple of ways you can get to the aviary. I'm going to take you this way and then kind of come back up on ourselves. But this was the old quarry, as they called it, and it's all fenced off now all the way around, and the reason is, unfortunately, you get places like this, and it's nice to see these again. They always highlight it, talk to us, because they have had a lot of suicides here as well, and I'll not dwell on that. And just flick the camera in and you can see why with the drop at the end there, which is it's a massive drop, and they use this for rock climbing now, and it's nice to see that it's actually being tidied up for a change, which is good. But what a drop that is, and I'm going to take you around and show you more from the other side as well. It's all fenced off now because of that, because of the massive drop. But years ago when I was kids, this wasn't fenced off, believe it or not. Well, we're in Taylor Park today, but this is what we've come to see. And like I say, you can just look down now from the drop. They have little paths going all the way around. They had benching, little seats and benches in there, but you can just see the rock face going down. And just down here where the rock face is, right at the bottom, was the aviary. There's all aviaries down here with loads of exotic birds. It was free to come in when you was a kid. We used to call it Pets Corner, but we used to always call it the aviary, and I think that's what everybody remembers it by in St Helens. They call the aviary, but as you can see, it is a bit of a drop, isn't it? And they use this for rock climbing now. You see how the rocks overhang, that's what they use it for a lot. I was hoping to get and have a walk down there today, but unfortunately the ranger's knocking about and you're not allowed in. They reckon it's unsafe now because of the rocks falling, but that just gives you an idea of it. Just zoom in a bit more and you see it. I'll get a shot from the other end as well. Such a quiet place, and there's like a little path that runs along here, all along the side, and I'll take you and show you and get you different angles of the storm face at the aviary. But if you can imagine, when we was a kid, this wasn't fenced. It was unbelievable that there wasn't more accidents, really. It just gives you an idea of the stone wall. And this was all a quarry, Taylor Park, originally. And if you can see how deep this quarry is here from the top to the bottom, people always ask me, how deep is Taylor Park Lake? Well, if you imagine this is the quarry, how deep this is, it'll give you an idea how deep Taylor Park Lake is. And I know I've said it many times, and we did it when I was a kid. You get the biggest ball of string with a rock on, your string will always run out before you hit the bottom in the middle. And we tried that and it was true. So I don't know how deep Taylor Park Lake is, but I guess it's pretty deep. I'll try and get you in another angle here. Like I said, I was hoping to get in here this afternoon, but sadly we can't. So, but that just gives you an idea of the drop from the other side. I'm going to put some old pictures with this video and show you what it used to be like in its heyday. There's like a winding path that goes all the way around it. That's a better money shot. I'll try and flip the camera up a bit, and then you can see it. There you go. Just gives you an idea of the rock face on it. It's a bit of a drop on this side as well, and that's where the railings are at the top. So it's a quiet place, and when we were kids we grew up round here. It was our back garden, Taylor Park, because like I said, my mum and dad's backed on to Taylor Park, so it was our big backyard really. I'll just show you over there because people are bound to ask. If you're wondering what that is over there, that's Eccleston Park Golf Club that takes you up to Prescott Road. And if you look directly ahead of you now, my auntie doesn't live there now, but my auntie, I'll just zoom in, if you see the big house in the middle on Prescott Road, that's where my auntie used to live before she downsized with her Auntie Minnie. That's Eccleston Park Golf Club. I'll show you where the gates are to get in here. Like I say, you can't get in here now. It's all closed off. But this was the way in that you used to come in. This is what they call the aviary. It's all locked up now. They reckon it's unsafe, but I think the reason they lock it up, well, I've been told when I was talking to the rangers, it's more a health and safety thing now for people climbing, that they've closed it off. But this time of year it looks absolutely fantastic with all the trees and all the colours. but such a quiet place, such a very quiet place. And when we were kids we used to hang around down here, and when I was very little my mum used to bring us for a day out. Well, it was a day out they used to say for us at Taylor Park, but it was like crossing over into your back garden. But we spent hours in Taylor Park because there was always loads going on. And I'll take you up the other side now, and if you're wondering where this is, this leads you to the boathouse if you go straight ahead. For those that don't know St Helens really, for the likes of Charlie Collins and Tony Redmond, they don't know St Helens at all. It just gives you an idea. And this was the way up to the big hill, one of the oldest parts of Taylor Park. And excuse me if I say Sherdley Park because I'm so used to saying Sherdley Park now from where I live, but just here there's loads of pictures, Victorian pictures of people. Always had loads of pictures taken here. In its heyday the gardens were absolutely fantastic, and this leads up to the big hill, and it's got another claim to fame, this part of the park. If you remember when I did the Eccleston Hall estates and I told you the tale of the grey lady that walked from Eccleston Hall Hospital, she's been seen many times down this little path just here leading down into Taylor Park, to the lake. And if you're wondering why, you ask yourself, why does she come this way? The reason is, I'll go back up and show you. Because when you come up this way, if you remember when I started my blog, this takes you right back onto Taylor Park Big Hill. But I'll go back up and show you. That's where we came from on the top. But if you look right over there, that was Eccleston Hall Hospital, and there's a shortcut just through the trees there. You come up and it brings you onto here. So they reckon that's why she walks that way. She comes up, crosses down into the path, and it gives you the full tour of the lake then. And just in the distance, if you remember my blog on Pilkinson's head office, you can just see it there above the trees. And if you want to see the full walk of Pilkinson's head office, I've got that on Marks Railway Trails as well. And I think that's the way that she came down, and then she went round the lake, and then just over where Taylor Park Lake is here. On the other side is Leg of Mutton, Triple X Lake as we call it, and just over there is Eccleston Mere Lake. So they're all linked to each other. Remember me telling you they all flow into each other. And we've done all them walks. If you want to see any of them walks, just go onto my channel and you'll see it. But I just wanted to show you where the Avery was today, because I skipped it really when I did Taylor Park because there was so much to see. But that's where it is, and it's all fenced off now. But we'll go back down the trail that it takes you back into Taylor Park, because I just want to show you a couple of places that I didn't show you last time on Taylor Park. But this is where there's been lots of sightings of the nurse that they call the Grey Lady that walks this path. And like I say, that's I think because she's come over from Eccleston Hall Hospital. Drop my camera down a bit. There you go. So that's where the Avery is in Taylor Park, St Helens. Just look for the gates. You can't get in there now, sadly. I'll have one last look as we move round. So sad that you can't walk it, but If the rangers wasn't here today, I'd have been over the gate and had a walk, but I just know that when I was asking, they said you can't go in there, so they know they're going to come back and check. But we got the pictures, we got what we wanted to see, and I'll put the old pictures on to show you. I'll just show you where this leads to, really. For those that don't know Taylor Park, I'll show you a bit of the lake, the boathouse, and take you to the oldest part of Taylor Park as well. And it's the largest Victorian park in St Helens, is Taylor Park, for those who don't know it. And you get a lot of the signs now around Taylor Park, because it is massive. And I'll show you some of the pegs as well. That's just showing you where you can go to Prescott Road, Quarry Rockery and Home Road. They call it Quarry Rockery now, just up there, but we all know it as the Avery and the path that leads round. But they call it Quarry Rockery now because they do rock climbing. But what a load of, and I'm not going to swear, it is the Avery that we all remember it by. And those that remember Taylor Park, if you went up here, I'll show you where the old bandstand used to be, and some of the bands playing. All that's sadly gone now. It's, I think it was a 50s, 60s thing. That's all gone, but I'll just jump down into one of the pegs now and show you the back end of the boathouse, really. And they've opened up Taylor Park a lot. When I was a kid, all this wasn't open. It's opened it all. The paths were always there, but all this was all enclosed. And this is where you get a good money shot with the boathouse. There's no jetties today for me to fall in, hopefully. I'm not going out on them steps, trust me. But there's the back end of the boathouse. I'll zoom in on that and show you. In its heyday, one hell of a busy place. Busy place. And I'll just zoom in on that so you can get a better view. But that's the boathouse. Originally, there was loads of rowing boats parked up here. There must have been about 50 or 60 rowing boats. And they had a big motorboat called the Queen Mary that went off the jetty there. In its heyday, this was absolutely massive. Really busy place. And the boat stopped, if I remember serves me right, it was touching probably, I would say, mid-80s, because of health and safety grounds that they stopped, and there was no more boats on there. You know, whether it was a bit before that, I'm not sure. And there's two fountains. There's one here that you can see, and there's another one further over there that's not on today. But just behind the fountain, that's where I grew up when I was a kid, so this was like our backyard. But I just wanted to show you the boathouse, because I've shown you the front, I'll just show you behind the scenes, really. And you get loads of mallards and ducks and they all think you come in feeding them when you stand out. So I'll take you back round, show you the front. But they use these for like fishing pegs now. And when I was a kid, this was all just trees and forest, really. Paths have always been good round Taylor Park. I'll just show you the bottom of the big hill where the bandstand was. For all those that grew up round here, you know, I know Neil Ward was more reckless than me, lad, but he would have come round here. Steve Wright knows it like me, the back of your hand. I'll get you another money shot down there in a minute as well. These are the old steps leading up to the bandstand for all those that used to come here. Who'll remember it well. That's what we call the big hill. And there you go, that was the bandstand in St Helens. And originally that would have been kitted out. a bit of wrought iron work round, and we had music playing bands in the summer. And in winter we used to always be on here sledging as a kid as well. Old steps still here. Get another shot looking over Taylor Park Lake. This is a money shot really. You can see Sunday night fish been fishing over there, just on the left hand side. But there you go. That just gives you an idea of the boathouse as well. What a magical shot that is. But they have two fountains. There's normally two going off, just one today. And don't be deceived by Taylor Park. It looks doesn't look deep, but apparently certain parts in the middle is very, very deep. Like I say, I wanted to show you the Avery today, and why I'm showing you the Avery, for those that don't know the area, I'll show you the other bits as well. Because although we've done it in depth, we did more about the 3 lakes last time on my post. So and Taylor Park Boathouse, it's still here. The original boathouse is still here. They built a new one in the early 70s, and it went down like a lab balloon because they said it was a monstrosity. Just here where the path takes you, just past this tree here, used to be a toilet block where there were toilets when we were kids. They've sadly gone. There's loads of walkways really, and they all lead into the other parks. If you go the other way, it leads you down into Legger Mutton Dam, and then you can go down the Red Rocks, takes you to Eccleston Mere. Sadly you can't walk Eccleston Mere now. There you go, just coming past the Avery again. And we'll take the high path and show you the way to the boathouse, and then we'll lead to one of the oldest parts of Sherdley, sorry, there we go, Taylor Park coming in, which was the old lodge on Prescott Road. We'll walk it up to there and show you. But I just wanted to show you the Avery today really. It's one I wanted to get in more detail, and I can put a few old pictures with it and show you how good it was when we were kids, and I spend hours in there really. There's the 2 Ranger cars now that clocked me before, so they stopped me climbing today, but we got what we needed to see. I'll just show you the boathouse. But the largest Victorian park in St Helens, this Taylor Park. I'll show you the boathouse first. Ranger service. Now you don't see these around here, but you never used to do. You do a lot more now, maybe because of vandals and things. And here's the old boathouse, just here, as you can see it. And that's not changed what it was like. I'll pop my camera in, then I'll do not be chuffed, but just show you the boathouse here. People all come here with the dogs and get a brew. It's great. I'll just pop my head in. This is it. And shoot my camera in. That's the boathouse. Some people don't like you taking pictures. And you can hire bikes out there. There's like a bike hub there. If you're looking just over there, you can hire bikes out and go around Taylor Park as well. And that just takes you around right over to the other side, brings you out to Legamotton Dam. But we'll go this way now. That takes you up to Prescott Road. If you remember when I started my blog last time on Taylor Park, that's where I started. Let's flick it around there, car behind me. That just gives you an idea of welcome to Taylor Park, where you are, what facilities it's got. And that's all the birds it's renowned for. But if you grew up around Taylor Park, you'll know it. You'll know these turnstiles like anything for going on the rowing boats. And me and Steve Wright, we save our money up to get on these rowing boats, and we're all here. And in the 70s they built that monstrosity, which was supposed to be the new boathouse, and luckily they never knocked the old one down because it just never took off. People never used it. They all still use the old boathouse, so what a waste of money that was, really. And I think it's used for the ranger services now and something else. And if you go up that way, that takes you to Prescott Road, and it's lovely as you walk in there because you'll see all the old Victorian houses which are still there. And if you remember me telling you, when you walk in, there used to be a water fountain just there, and I've got a picture of my brother drinking out of that water fountain when he was about 12 years old. Well, I'm going to take you up now to probably the oldest part of Taylor Park, really. After the Avery, the quarry as they call it. And for all my mates, you'll remember this on your push bikes, shooting down here. And this was called the little paddling pool. Sadly today, they don't use it as a paddling pool. It's all been kind of tarmacked over, and that was all the paddling pool originally as well, all on this side, and that's just been grassed over now. But going back to the 60s, 70s, this was packed on a hot summer's day, people paddling and having the boats, putting the boats in, and it was absolutely massive in the 60s and 70s. But sadly, health and safety gone mad. They don't put water in it anymore. They use it more for bikes and things. So sad, really. So sad. And we created a bit of a woodland walk now. You see all the paths. And you'll always get somebody walking round. 20 dog walkers will overtake these, and you just see all the paths that leads from the Avery, which is just up there. We'll overtake this lady and little dog. Hi love, are you following him?
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
You're so cool.
And it's like a woodland walk they've created just past the lady there walking the dog. And it just brings you back onto the path, really. That just leads you back towards the boathouse. See the opening just there? But we're going to go up now and I'll show you to finish off. It's only a small vlog today, really, to show you where the Avery was, and I'll put some old pictures of what it used to be like in the 60s when I was growing up. And people use this as a walkthrough to get to Prescott Road. But typical Victorian park in its heyday, Taylor Park. All the lakes, all the boats, paddling pool, and used to have tennis courts up here as well, which is sadly gone. That just takes you back down towards the Avery. We're going to cut up here now and show you again one of the oldest buildings that's still here and they've never knocked down, thank God, in Taylor Park. It's a residential house now. Another woodland walk that you can do, and that takes you to where the tennis courts used to be, believe it or not. I'll just flip my camera out because some people don't like you getting on camera. So, people just use this to cut through from Prescott Road. There we go. And just here on the right is where all the tennis courts used to be, believe it or not. And I've just let it go now, it's just overgrown, gone. But you won't believe that there were actually tennis courts there, would you? So sad. This just leads on to Prescott Road. And you see a lot of the houses at the back there now, all Victorian houses all the way down, which some really big houses there with big gardens. And if memory serves me right, on the lodge here, I think there's a plaque highlighting the dates and everything on it as well. But if you want to see the full history, just look at me beginning of this vlog and just pause it on your telly. Yeah, it's still here, and I hope they don't mind me taking a picture of it. But there you go, Taylor Park, presented by Samuel Taylor Jr. And he left the park to the people of St Helens. 18th of May 1853, and it's still got the old St Helens sign on there as well. I remember showing you one of the big houses in the middle. That's where my auntie used to live, just in the middle there, before she downsized. She used to live there with Auntie Minnie before she moved. Well, that leads you into Taylor Park. Just follow it down, it'll take you to the Avery if you want to find it. But that's one of the original buildings that's still here, obviously been modernised a bit. If you look across, you can see a lot of the Victorian houses still here, but we're going to head back down here now. I'll keep the camera running, and there you go, 1893 Taylor, just another way in. 2005. It gives you a little bit of the history here as well. Just on this plaque here you'll see it. Turnpike Road milestone. And that was aboard as local entrepreneurs who allowed individual acts of parliament to build sections of the road. The first turnpike trust was established in 1806. England and Wales. it's just telling you all about the councils really, and how they could build roads and stuff. There you go. And there's a new plaque I'll just show you here now, which was unveiled in the 90s. Just flip the camera around. Taylor Park, Centenary, 1893 to 1983, and the Mayor of St Helens did it. And this is when they kind of opened it up a lot really. So that's it today from Marks Railway Trails. I'm going to head back home now, and walk it down here for one more time. And some of the big Victorian houses down here, if you go about 12-13 houses down, that's where Johnny Vegas lives, one of the local comedians from St Helens. So that's it today from Marks Railway Trails. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to come and find the Avery, this is the way you can get to it, or you can walk it in from the boathouse, and this just leads you to Prescott Road. So I'll put some little videos and clips of the old Avery, but for those who want to find it, come and walk it. It's a lovely little walk, and we'll have to rename Marks Railway Trails to St Helens Local History Trails, but I just want to get them all on the blog. So enjoy it. Charlie, I hope you've enjoyed it, and Harry, I know you'll know this place like the back of your hand, and Redmond, there's a bit of history there for you of our area as well. So see you soon on Marks.